Good morning, students. Today's will we discuss a committee. This is my next class. What is the committee? Committee is a specific unit of our society because the committee may be established via any define a purpose, and after for achieving that purpose, that committee automatically destroyed. That's a basic concept of every committee. You can know that within a time Durga Utsav committee, right? Within a create only for the 9th or the 10th date, and the explore the functions, then the committee will be automatically destroyed. So that's a main matter of every committee. Like that, how to explain? A committee is a group of people. First of a group of people appointed or elected by the larger organization because the define a goal or define a goal, how to achieve that goal. So maybe one creating thought a human being, and this is my goal, and how to achieve that goal, to support that the any other members and the collective the peoples, that's achieving a goal. So achieving next larger organization of assemble via the perform the specific task or a goal, right? Discuss an issue, that's a thought, that's a thought. Suppose that I create I mind is any thought what that work is performing and how to performing, then we will go to any other peoples and or interact and the discussion, this is my thought, you can help me, yes or no? Then the person may be yeah, of course I can be help that, so please come to my thought, and I discuss or a specific task and discuss for the issue that the next, and or make recommendation. Committee are the formed the accomplished a specific purpose, right? And the specific purpose may be dissolved after a purpose completing, and a committee may be destroyed automatically achieving our goal or achieving our need, right? This is a basic. So how to remember? First of all, group of people first, and second is a achieving goal. After achieving goal, committee may be automatically destroyed, and committee will be create any specific purpose, and that achieved that purpose, achieving that purpose, and will be destroyed, and will be destroyed automatically, right? And next is how maybe scholar will be explain of the committee. Why can we see that? First of the committee is a group of people organized to achieving common purpose or a purpose via MacIver phase. MacIver so called the committee a group of people, then be achieving any purpose or any goal. Next is a committee is usually a group of people working together to achieving a purpose, working together, that's also a group of people but working together and the achieving a purpose via bogarts. Next is a committee is a type of social group. Committee is a type of social group that be deliberately formed. He saw the committee as a form social organization within certain structure and a functions, because the every committees create any structure, like there is a post structure, like the rules structure, like the some any other structures. So that's a social group, social organization, and the structure of function. Why Kingsley Davis? Because the Kingsley Davis is a functional socialist, right? Functional socialist Kingsley Davis, and also Emile Durkheim, and also August Comte. This is a functional socialist So that the perspective of functional society functionalism, right? Next, many thinkers define the committee in the different perspective like that. First, Max Weber. Weber will be Max Weber is the explain of a committee like is the perspective of bureaucratic perspective. Bureaucratic perspective. Next is Emile Durkheim, functionalist perspective. Karl Marx is the conflict perspective. Next, Robert King Martin. Robert King Martin is perspective, manifest and the latent function is available of our society. Next, Talcott Parson is also social system perspective. So that the scholar may be produce or the explain the committee of the different the perspective, and committee may be created a need of society. Okay, and the achieving that society need, the committee will be automatically destroyed. And how may be characteristics of committee? So first oply, characteristics may be divided into three parts. First is the functional characteristics of committee, second is the structural characteristics of committee, and last is the group dynamic characteristics of our committee. How to explain? First is the functional characteristics of committee. First is a specific purpose or a object or a goal, and every committee define a specific purpose or a goal with the society norms and the rules, and the achieving that goal that the destroy of a committee. Next is a problem solving, because the every committee how to solve a problem, then the discuss of the any person and interaction process, and may be supported for that member to member, so the group of people and how to solve the problem and discussion. So that is a functional characteristics of our society, problem solving. Then the decision making. Next characteristics is a decision making, because the discussion or for many people, then the create one decision, that decision apply for that society. Monitoring, how to work done, how to resolve that work via many people, and how to decision and how to working procedure. So that's one member is a watching or a monitoring that the procedure of solving any problems. Next is a policy development. When the committee will be created, then the create any policy. So policy work is a properly how, why, and fulfill for that need. So create any policy. And the representation also a functional characteristics of our society represents how to represent how to work to fulfill that need of our society or a human being. Then we represent our I may be a this matter, and this the policy type, and this the fulfill for need of our, right. Next, the structural characteristics of every committee. First is a formal structure, because the committee is a create first a formal structure. How many member in that committee, how many how to feel or how to fulfill for that need, that be structural. Next is a hierarchical position, because the member may be attached or the join that a membership of our community, then we define a post of that every members, because the chairman, because the member, because any, this is a hierarchy position. Then the authority is a structural characteristics of every committee. Authority, when the person located at that work and what the power of that person, so provided the committee knows that the authority when the decision making of that persons. Next is a temporary or a permanent, when the establishment type of every committee, when the temporary or a permanent, because I can see that achieving our purpose or achieving our goal. When the long time duration is achieving our goal, then the greater permanency, but within that 6 months, 6 day or 7 day, because the Durga Utsav Samay is the within 10 days. This is a 10 days permanency, right? But not a long time permanency. 10 days permanency, within a 10 days maybe committee member is a post, a structure, and the decision making, everything is a possible on the 10 days within, right? So the type of the permanence and the temporary. Next is a group dynamic. First of a collective decision making, because the not a one decision who the whole committee, but the whole member decide a one decision. Whole member decided a one decision. So that is a collective decision making by a committee. Next is a distributed workload. Not a one person you can hold the every work, because the hierarchy position, then hierarchy position is decided work, which work perform which person, then the workload is distributed for the every person to depend of our power or the authority and the work spacing. So that's a distributed workload of every member in our committee depend on our knowledge, experience and others. Next is the responsibility, which person handle for the daily work, then the responsible that person. When the work divided for that person, so that person may be responsible for decision making and the work responsibility. Next is a group dynamic. So that is the characteristics of a committee. Next is the how to importance of our committee in our society. You can see that first is the advantage of expertise, because the committee member is the expert of that work and that work may be performed a expert person. So that work is that a knowledge of the expert. Next is a better decision making process, right? Next is a proper distribution of workload. Next, accountability and the transparency, because the workload and the authorities may be provided to that persons, so you can be responsible when the work done or not, how to and why to not work done is that the accountability and the transparency for that every members that fixed time, and the effective communication or the collaborations in the committee members, because the communication must be compulsory for the member to a member, but do we not any communication, that are responsible how to problem created. That's the effective communication. Developing future leadership, because the then person is responsible for that work or know the very good work, then the leadership member of the next future generations, right? Next is a consequence building and the conflict resolution. So that's a very main importance of any committee. Good. Thanks for watching this video.